Hello and welcome back. In this episode, we're going to revisit matrix specification again. We spoke about this a couple of months ago in the channel, and I'll include a link to that video so you can reflect on it. In this session, we're going to talk about exporting the data that's mined using metric specification for other usage. So in this diagram, we have elements from the business requirements namespace or folder, and then we have elements that are from the application namespace, the building block namespace, and we can certainly validate that by selecting any item here and hit Alt plus G, finds the element over in the browser. Do the same thing on requirements. You can see first off the applications are in the building block folder, and the requirements, they are in the business requirement folder. So here we have a few requirements that are available for our use. And what we're doing in this analysis diagram is we are drawing connections. These are realization associations, realization between our systems and our requirements. So the story we're telling here, if we go to traceability, is that we're stating that this application realizes, go down here, realizes or implements this requirement. And you're able to look the other direction, clicking on the requirement, and you can see that this requirement is realized by these applications. But how do you use that intelligence for other purposes? So in a previous video, you learned how to build a matrix specification, and you can find that in the toolbox under governance and then matrix specification. You drag and drop it in and you configure it. Let's go ahead and open this thing up. And here we have one that's already configured, and you can see that the source is business requirements right here. You can see that we are using these requirements out of this namespace. And the building blocks or the target, we can go to that and locate that. And you can see that we've got the building blocks that are relevant to this work effort for this specification matrix. And the type of connectivity is realization, all right? So you learned that in the previous video. We're focused on, in the building blocks, class elements only, and that should bring you up to speed. So realization is the connectivity. The destination is target to source. Reflect back on that video if you want to see how we built this. You also learned how to apply overlays. So if you wanted to look at effort, goes out to tag values, brings in the overlay for the matrix, and it applies these tag values in place of the connections, the realization connections. And if you want to look at other things like impact, replaces the connections with tag values that represent impact analysis. Let's go back to none. We're just showing the realization connectivity. The arrow is pointing from the target, in this case, the target to source, right? And pointing to the source, right? So that's bringing you up to speed. Let's get into how to reuse this intelligence for other purposes. So we go over to options right here, and we go to matrix and mouse over it. We have some options that we can apply to the intelligence that we have formed here. And so what we're going to be talking about in this session, we want to save this matrix as a PNG file. Let's go ahead and click on this. It takes us to wherever our destination is. Here we've got the project, we've got requirements folder, and in that we have matrices. We need to give it a file name, and the save as type should only be PNG file types, no other file types, and we need to give this a name. So we're simply going to call it business requirements. Business requirements, and then I'm just going to put in matrix. There we go, just something like that. And now that has been saved as a PNG file. Now, if we go to that folder where we just saved this file, double click in and open it up, whatever your graphic or image viewer is will come up. And now we have saved this as a picture. And then you can see we had business requirement 1 selected. If you don't have anything selected, it'd be clear. To prove that point, we bring it back up. We have nothing selected. We go to Options, Matrix, Save as PNG. Let's go ahead and step on our previous one. Yes, we want to replace it. And now let's go over and take a look at that file. And you can see it is clear. And we'll show how to reuse this PNG for various purposes in just a moment. Here we have a blank Word document up, and we want to bring this image in that we had saved right here into this blank document. You could certainly use Insert, go out and grab the picture, or you can drag and drop it in. And then you can give it any name you want. Let's say business requirements. I'm just going to say matrix, and I should say like something like analysis, but I'll let you get as clear as you want on that. But the real reason that we're here is to bring this intelligence that we've done here, this analysis, to a flat file. So you have a selection down here called Export to CSV, comma, separated value flat file. And we're going to go ahead and select it. And here you can see it's saving it to the type CSV. It should be the only thing that you have as far as a type to select. And we're going to go ahead and give it a name. And we're going to use the same name. I'm going to go ahead and select it and then back out of the PNG here and go ahead and save it. Next, let's go to where we saved our CSV file, and we're going to double click this and open it up. And you can see, here we go. So we have our flat file that we can then do a save as, an Excel file, do formatting in the CSV file in the latest version of Office, or certainly within the Excel file. So what we're going to do is we're going to format these. So we go down to Format Cells. We go down over to Alignment. And let's have the headers pointing up at 90 degrees, something like that. And then let's go ahead and double click to give it the tightest width we can. And let's go ahead and center these. Go to Center. Something like that. And then we certainly want to see our requirements, so we can double click, auto width that. And we can do all sorts of other things. You can go into page layout, you can add nice colors and things like that. We can turn on filtering. We can do everything we can do, build pivot tables, all sorts of cool stuff in Excel or whatever your spreadsheet platform is. The most important thing that we can do with this is we can select what we want, and we can Control C and copy, or simply drag it and drop it to a space where we want to apply the Excel file that we just did, right? So this is how you can bring in your data, your intelligence for various conversations. So let's go back to our matrix and apply an overhead. And we're going to do effort, right? And now we're going to export this out to a flat file and bring that into our Word document next. So with the overlay applied, we go to Options, mouse over Matrix, come down here, Export, goes to our last folder destination, and we're going to save this, use the same name, but we're going to change it to effort. And then we can put in analysis. We can certainly version from here and do the things that you want to do to your files. Let's go ahead and hit save and then open this up. With the flat file open, our overlay applied, you can see it's now showing in the flat file. And now we can copy this over to our Word document and down here, apply it. And now we have a different analysis, and we can call this effort analysis, or any meaningful header that you want to apply. This one being realization, analysis, or just simply realization. And now we're starting to build out a report in Word, reusing the intelligence that we've developed for other purposes. All right, that's going to conclude this episode. Thanks very much for watching. I think you can use your imagination from this particular point, whether you're using Microsoft Office products or you're using some other platform, to be able to bring your intelligence in to render various presentations, support collaboration, and do much more. Thanks again for watching. And until the next episode, happy modeling.